What's up, guys? It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. And it is Tuesday, September 7th, 2021, AD. And I hope you had a nice Labor Day. It is a commie so-called holiday. Nothing holy about the commies. Except they bring evil into the world. That is their role. Communism is another word for lies and Satan. Right. Not everything evil is communist, I guess. It's really between good and evil. But anyway, I have another beautiful song for you to share with you. This track is from the Knights of the New Crusade. I hope you enjoy this. I like to play some Christian music from way back, 15, 20, 25 years ago when I was a young man or a child or a young minor in some cases, listening to Christian music growing up. This is from the Knights of the New Crusade. I've been playing them this week and last week, actually. When Nights Are Low is the name of this track. And I don't have lyrics for you because they didn't include lyrics in the liner notes. But I have this CD, and so you'll be looking at the art if you're watching the video feed. It's from the 2006 album, A Challenge to the Cowards of Christendom. And these guys, too, honestly, they might be or have been cowards even in their so-called Christian lives. Well, enjoy When Nights Are Low regardless. Cover your ears, press mute, or grin and bear it. I'll talk you through it. And we'll get started with the show. Hope you like it.
I keep my mission. I fight my crusade. 'Cause at my life's end, my wages will be paid. So make the music slow. When the lights burn low, true believers know you can't make these nights low.
Nice. Can't make him low. It's kind of like Trump. You can't get him down. Never seen Trump down.
Temptation may sing its siren song. Bodies will wither, but faith remains strong. So let the news go round. You can't bring us down. Try to spread your lies, but we won't be hypnotized.
Right on. All Bible thumpers are cowards, says Cristobal. And I think this applies to these guys. Shout out, Chris.
We'll fight our war. We'll fight our war. But there'll be no gore. But there'll be no gore. We fight against the greed. Against the greed. Caused by false belief. Caused by false belief. So make the music slow.
So cool.
When the lights burn low, true believers know you can't make these nights low.
Nice. Cristobal also says, I'm surprised they didn't get Jack Chick to do the album artwork. Yeah, because the front cover of their thing, and actually the back cover too, reminds me of those Chicks publications. But anyway, guys, yeah, I love this too. Mrs. What's your name? Let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. What a mess there are mixed reviews of the beautiful but liberal Bible thumper music from these Knights of the New Crusades guys. As Medor says, they've edited that Chicks tract. Remember those Chicks tract? I don't know if a lot of you guys know about these, but some of you guys do. Chicks publications, and they're these little booklet things, comic books that are they're like 2.5 inches tall and like 4 or 5 inches wide. And you just kind of read through the comic, and it's some story with a moral to it. And in the back of it, it used to say, to grow as a... Well, listen to this, as Medora describes it. They've edited that Chicks tract. They have it saying, to grow as a Christian, listen to our disc, meaning our CD, the Knights of the New Crusade CD, where the original tract had contact info and advice on finding a church and such. I don't like these guys. They come off like they're using Christianity as a gimmick. And you might be right, man. And honestly, that's what most Christians do, but including these guys. One of them voted for John Kerry. Did you catch that? I read that to you guys last week. The front man who was called Lancelot by one guy, but his real name was, I forget what his name was, Andrews or something. Jack, chick pamphlets are awesome. I have a bunch, says Emperor of Cats. I only knew about them, I guess, because my mother had a whole bunch of them in a little basket thing, and I would read through some of them. I remember reading about Kali, some crazy India god with a goddess thing, evil demon woman with a bunch of, who would kill people, a bunch of severed heads, nasty, bunch of arms, sick. Anyway, but I enjoy the music. All Bible thumpers are cowards. Again, that's what what's his name says. Like the Moody Blues, but awfuler, says Mo. Well, anyway, reminiscent of late 60s, early 70s punk, says Stephen Will. Yeah, I like the sound, even though they are liberals. Well, guys, I have some calls to get to. You can call in 888-775-3773. But first, I have some stories to get to you first, and some super chats to read. Pretty wild, these floods, actually. Isn't it crazy? I saw a couple of photographs shared. I think they were originally taken by AP photographers. AP is this huge outlet that is international, globalist, against America. They hate America. They hate Trump. They hate decency. They hate white people. Even though many of them are supposedly white, right? Collie's ticked at Hake now. But anyway, they have this huge operation so they can fund people to be taking photographs, and they own a lot of the photographs that you may see floating around. The others, like Getty, Reuters has a bunch sometimes, and others. And they're very possessive. But look at this flooding. A couple of photographs in New Jersey. This is from that Hurricane Ida that turned into a tropical storm as it moved up the eastern section of the United States, starting with Louisiana, hitting Louisiana, and then it started to go into New York and New Jersey and elsewhere. I think Tennessee, there was somebody who died. Around 50 people died across 6 states amid heavy rainfall in the wake of the hurricane, according to the Epoch Times. I have photographs of cars submerged, flooding from Ida. That's in New Jersey, Somerville, New Jersey, I believe. Crazy, huh? And then there's another one in PA, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I never thought of those places being flooded or floodable. But what do I know? I've been to both of those places. Made landfall days earlier in Louisiana as a Cat 4, Category 4 storm. 150 miles an hour winds when it first hit. That's pretty big, pretty heavy, pretty fast. Officials told the AP 13 killed across New York, 27 died in New Jersey. By the way, there's controversy amongst the Democrats. New Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop Fulop, a Democrat, lambasted. Am I pronouncing that correctly? New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, also a Democrat, for allegedly allowing Hudson County to be left off the disaster declaration because sleepy Joe Biden said, oh, we have a disaster and we're going to send funds to you guys. The floods were responsible for damages totaling $35 million, according to Fulop, who tweeted yesterday. It's absolutely crazy/shameful that Hudson County was not included on this list, the mayor wrote. We got the storm as bad as any New Jersey county with higher density and population. I urge you to work with our federal reps to fix this. And by the way, just days after Ida, more heavy rains expected down in, southeastern Louisiana and New Orleans. And they still have like widespread power outages. I think more than 500,000 customers in the state still without power 8 days later. They said it's going to last for weeks. It's crazy though, huh? Louisiana and Mississippi. Mississippi also hit. And more rain there. Crazy. According to National Weather Service. PowerOutage.us is a website that tracks power outages. Happy birthday, James. Thank you. Appreciate it. Guys, out of all of my research yesterday, I forgot to gather pictures of this black actor. Would you mind Googling some pictures of Michael K. Williams for me? This guy, before I get to calls, I have people on the line. Hang tight, guys. Michael K. Williams is that actor with a scar across his face, or was an actor with a scar across his face. According to reports, he's dead now. Found dead in his New York City apartment. Michael K. Williams. I saw this Michael Tracy tweet, Michael Tracy being a liberal independent journalist, said, Michael K. Williams was an incredible actor. His presence always made you unsettled, but also enthralled. R.I.P. Rest in peace. And I'm like, I don't know that person by name. I don't know many actors by name, right? So I looked him up on the trusty, handy-dandy Wikipedia to learn that he's that black slim guy with the scar down his face. Turns out it was from a razor blade in Jamaica, New York City. Not to be confused with the island of Jamaica. New York City a bar fight. Some guy cut him with a razor blade. I think it was the day he turned 25. And there he is, probably in his early 50s. This is a photograph of him. You can still, to this day, see it run down the center of his forehead, down top of his nose,
To this day.
across his, what is that? I guess that's his right cheek. Pretty lucky it didn't go for his eyes, huh? Get his eyes. And honestly, that was so typical, right? A bar fight. Blacks getting in a fight and getting cut. I wonder if it was a black who cut him. But it's a blessing in disguise because of that, plus he's somewhat talented, right? At least somewhat talented. He got all kinds of opportunities because of that scar. Tupac, I heard, discovered him. Well, he was already trying to be an actor or something, but he was an actor and a model. So he played in that, The Wire. You guys probably know The Wire. Some of you probably watched it. Omar was the name that he played. A gay murdering thief. I assume that he was committing murders, right? The Wire. The Wire was a well-respected show about Baltimore. Omar's coming, says Chris. Yeah, everybody would get... I haven't watched The Wire. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It has that other guy, Idris Elba, who's like this black guy, and a bunch of others, I think. A lot of characters. Hard to keep track of them all because they all look the same. But Baltimore, street drugs, street crime, police type of show. Ran from 2002 to 2008. That was Obama's favorite TV show. Obama! And this actor, Michael K. Williams, he played a gay, which seems unnecessary in my opinion, especially in 2002 to 2008. That was when they were majorly pushing the gay thing for it to be accepted, and especially amongst the blacks. And this guy took part in it. Shame on him. Maybe he didn't know better, but that's wrong. I think he did. How do you not know better? Anyway. And interestingly, he was Obama's favorite character. Obama's favorite character? A gay? On his favorite TV show. And at this time, he was against homosexuality. He's like, he was like, according to him, traditional marriage between a man and a woman. Obama lied. JLP knew that he was lying about that. Jesse Lee Peterson, way back 2007, 2008, he knew that Obama was for same-sex marriage, even though Obama pretended not to be. And the blacks fell for it. And then they fell for him again, even after he came out and said that. The blacks are like, I don't agree with him. But they hated the white man so much that they voted for the black man again. The black liberal. Obama admired him for being tough and bad. I guess he was an interesting character. Memorable. The creator of the show is very subversive. The Wire? Yeah. That's outright subversive. According to Michael K. Williams' personal story, he got into trouble as a youth. I mean, look at him, age 25, getting in a bar fight and getting cut with a razor blade. The heck? Well, I would never hang out in Jamaica, New York City for my 25th birthday, I'll tell you that much. He enrolled in the National Black Theater in New York City. In 2007, he was nominated for an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actor in a drama series for his role as Omar Little, the homosexual, violent black robber with a strict moral code who took his grandma to church, right? That's according to the creator of the story. Last name is Simon, that's the creator of this TV show, The Wire. Simon. But not the Christian kind of Simon. Wasn't there a Simon who, maybe I'm thinking Simeon. Somebody stayed alive long enough to see baby Jesus, to see Jesus as a baby. Stayed alive in the temple. There was this famous story. Here's a quote from the Wikipedia write-up. And go to infogalactic.com instead, guys. Infogalactic.com, but that's a better version of Wikipedia. It's less subversive, right? It's more honest. Infogalactic.com. But anyway, Michael K. Williams received both positive and negative reactions to Omar's homosexuality. I bet he did. Because in the olden days, even in the early 2000s, blacks weren't into that. Or they pretended not to be because they pretended to be Christian, right? Feels that he is successful. He felt he was successful in challenging attitudes and provoking discussion with the role. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Obama cited The Wire as his favorite television show. Omar, his favorite character. About Omar, he said, that's not an endorsement. He's not my favorite person, but he's a fascinating character. Bet he is, Obama. He's the toughest, baddest guy on the show. During his portrayal of Omar Little, Williams went by his character's name. So he went around saying, call me Omar, basically. And he developed a habit of smoking pot and an addiction to cocaine in 2004. Sounds like somebody got too into the role. Talk about the fallen state. Reminds me of that guy who became Joker, and then he OD'd and died or something like that. Remember that guy? Heath Ledger? Of the Batman, more recent Batman movies? What a terrible shame. Somewhat recent. I saw this one video that was put out. Yeah, Omar whistles "A Hunting We Will Go" when he goes to kill people, according to Chris and Wikipedia. And in some cases, it was confused with "A Farmer in the Dell." A farmer in the dell, a farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the Mario, the farmer in the dell. Same melody. And it was compelling, I guess. And I believe that. He seemed like an interesting character. But I saw this video. He fell right in line with he went right along with the establishment evil. That's his only drawback, in my opinion. Michael K. Williams did this typecast video on HBO and The Atlantic on YouTube. HBO and The Atlantic are two very subversive outlets that feed that racism lie. And this guy, of course, he fell into that because he was a messed up young man. And then he went into acting. Two of the worst things that you can do. He was asking himself if he's typecast. You know what that means? Like, oh, you do a certain role and you do it so well, you become known for that role and they only get that role anymore. Meaning like the black criminal or whatever. And it's such a weird, artsy, short piece in this YouTube video. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get copy strike. But it shows different versions of this same guy, of him. Different characters he played, really. Appear in the room, I gather. Appear in the room talking to himself on this couch, in the kitchen, and everywhere else. And it's implied that because he's black and from that rough area, he's put into a typecast and assigned what he was given in his roles, right? And he's not self-made. He's like, I earned my way, I'm self-made, and I got out of the being typecast. He said, if I was typecast, I'd be dead right now or in jail, something like that, right? But I got out because he's a successful actor, I guess. And then the other guys, the other version of him says, were you really? And then all of a sudden he's by himself. So creepy. Hope I'm describing it well enough to convey the artsy creepiness of it, right? So I gather that he didn't get out of the system of white supremacy. Everybody's cast into a role. Give me a break. Phony people trying to play God. He had an amazing job, did a pretty good job with that job that he had, except that he partook in the immoral, pro-gay, racism type of mess. Also, that's enough to drive you nuts. What type of a dumb thing to be thinking about, really? Oh, am I typecast? Be grateful. So his cause of death was not immediately known, but like I said, he's been open about his drug addiction thing, and he's calling it a daily struggle, so who knows. Here's a conspiracy. Williams worked for Pfizer as a temp way back. Did you know that? He worked for Pfizer. So maybe he was one of the good guys, and he was going to expose Pfizer, and they got him. They OD'd him. That's just a conspiracy theory, completely out of my imagination. But he was given one of his first acting roles after being discovered by Tupac Shakur, who was also murdered before he put out the real information. I don't know. But he worked for the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, as a celebrity ambassador for the Campaign for Smart Justice. ACLU are enemies of America. And honestly, they're enemies of blacks. They support abortion. They support the fake idea that there's such a thing that driving while black, there's such a thing. They hated Trump. ACLU, they hate America. They're communists. Liars. I have a clip of this guy, actually, from when he was alive, a few months ago, actually. This is him. I think I have this clip 13. Here's a clip of this guy, and he's working with Crew Count NYC. Crew Count NYC was like a youth-led, pro-black organization trying to help blacks make it in New York City or wherever. And he was wearing this Crew Count sweatshirt or whatever. And this Michael K. Williams, actor, also being an activist. Nothing worse than an activist, especially these liberals, right? With young, dumb people who don't know what they're talking about, and neither does this guy. He's talking to that black Democrat ex-cop who ran for mayor. Did this guy win? Eric Adams. Did he win? Because you know that socialist mayor is, I think, termed out. Bill de Blasio with the black lesbian wife, ex-lesbian wife. I thought you can't change. Well, then now they say sexuality is more fluid for some than for others. Other people can't change. Give me a break. I thought it was immutable characteristics. They're just liars and snakes. But here's the tweet. During our meeting with Eric Adams for NYC in Brownsville, BKBMG, which is the Twitter handle for this late actor, Michael K. Williams, pushed him on what law and order means and how he sees public safety. And you're going to hear him say, more cops, like it's a bad thing. This actor says it. And then this Democrat ex-cop mayor candidate, who may have won, did he win? Responds. Listen to this clip.
Words are going to come out in the context, the way I heard it at the debate. It reminds me of traditional ways of dealing with us and our youth in the community. Do you think that putting more police on our streets is the way to deal with the violence that's in our community right now?
When I use the term, we want laws followed in our community, and we don't want disorder. We don't want disorder. And to have a black man say that knows how to do it right, that knows how to say, listen, we don't need an over-proliferation of cops. People commit crimes because the real crimes are happening in a lack of resources that came from the city.
Crazy, huh? So Eric Adams, who is a cop, real cop, who actually worked in the thing, even though he's a Democrat, he's a little bit more sensible because the black crime is out of control. And the police are not the blacks' problem. It's the black criminals and the black mothers and stuff. Well, they won't be honest about the mother's situation. He's the Democrat Party nominee in the 2021 New York City mayoral election. I guess he won as the Democrat primary then, right? So I guess he's going to be mayor because how is New York going to elect a Republican? Republicans are so weak and phony nowadays, most of them. But he says, reminds me, this is Michael K. Williams, reminds me of the traditional ways of dealing with us, meaning blacks, and our youth in the community. Traditional ways of dealing with us, meaning more cops. Tough on crime, which the blacks were begging for. Black so-called leadership back then, they were begging for it because the crime was so out of control. And now that they got a handle a little bit on it, they're saying, no, racism. They're never happy. What a mention. What a mess. No mention of God. But please give us money to fix our hoods. Thank you, Epstein's ghost. Anyway, that's that guy. Rest in peace. Seems like he was quite a talented actor, but like I said, all artists are liberals. They just are. There's not one artist who's not a liberal. Except for that one guy, that one Asian guy who came to the men's conference. And even him, maybe. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Let me get to some calls. T in Alabama says, why you lying on me? According to the call line. What's up, T? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, James.
Wow, you're doing good?
Doing good, man.
What good are you doing in the
good.
world?
Doing good, James.
Doing good in the world? What good are you doing?
Hey, a lot of good, man. A lot more than what you do, my brother.
Okay, my brother.
Yeah, a lot more than what you do.
Okay.
Yeah, first of all, man, in regards to yesterday, yeah, I don't appreciate you lying and saying that, hey, I'm getting on there asking what your income is. Okay, you get there with
I
your
didn't
boss
say that.
Man. James, you get there with your boss man today and make it seem
Are you on
to
speakerphone? You're coming in is T coming in loud enough? Press 1 if it's loud enough. Press 2 if it's too loud. Press 3 if it's too quiet.
How about now?
That's better.
Okay. All right.
I didn't say that you asked how much I make.
Well, I mean, you make it seem like that.
No, I didn't make it seem like that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
From what I'm hearing, and from what you're saying on the on your boss man's show today, him.
Because Jesse Lee Peterson didn't quite remember exactly what you said, and so he said something similar, something along in the same vein.
In the background listening. Okay,
something in the same vein.
Monitor your show.
He's a listener.
So
he's a listener.
Your show.
Jesse Lee Peterson is a listener and fan of the Hake Report, like you.
Okay.
Except he listens better.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
okay.
he just doesn't.
Okay.
He doesn't remember.
Sure.
He just doesn't remember exactly unimportant stuff like mess that you try to spread.
Yeah. I'm not trying to spread that, James. I made a
you
comment,
are.
man, and you
and
got
now
all,
and now you're lying on
emotions,
me.
Man.
Now you're lying on me, trying to accuse me of something that he said, and it's not even important.
Well, that's the way you wanted to make it seem.
Because you're so
man.
sensitive.
You know, then
You're so sensitive.
Your little cronies in the chat. You know, your little
Those
cronies.
aren't cronies. Those are those are listeners,
No, they're little
supporters.
cronies.
Cronies.
They cronies.
What's
Yeah.
a crony?
But
Define crony.
a crony.
Yeah.
With a crone. Okay.
A crone?
But,
What's a crone?
yeah. So anyway, man, my thing is, just
No clarity
try
from this
to
man.
Stop getting emotional, man. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Stop
Very
being
good advice.
emotional
How come
when
you imitate the advice of Jesse Lee Peterson, but you say it from Satan's perspective?
Man, I take no advice from Jesse.
No, you imitate the advice because you say stop being so emotional. That's what Jesse says to do.
Oh, Jesse, the only person.
Are you not aware of that?
Look, man.
Are you not aware of that?
Listen, I heard Jesse say that.
Thank
so
you.
that means I'm trying
That
to
is his-
imitate him. Man,
Yeah,
be
you're
for real.
because like
Be
a
for real,
communist.
James. That's you. Okay.
I did not call everyone
you.
in chat a crony. That's what this
Yeah.
guy said. I don't even know
Anyway,
what a
man.
crony is. I know about crony capitalism, and
I
that's basically
called you yesterday,
that's basically
James.
oh, they do what I say because I give them money. That's what a crony is, right? Or I give them special treatment. I don't give special treatment to my fans. I call them the snake pit. The heck?
Yeah, but anyway, man, I called you to have a somewhat civil conversation with you yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But then, like I said, and I even said before
But you just
hung
can't
up,
help yourself.
Like a little. No. I even said before you hung up, here you go, trying to, you're looking for a reason to click that button.
You don't know
And
that.
You did exactly
You don't know
what
that.
I thought.
Nope.
James, I knew that what you were
No,
doing,
you didn't
man.
know that.
'Cause
That's
what you
not
do.
actually
When
what I was
somebody
trying to do.
calls in, when people
Believe it
call
or not,
in,
T.
wanna
Believe it or not,
challenge-
T. Believe it or not, I like to have conversations with people. But when you don't want to have a conversation with me, I'm forced
James,
to hang up.
James,
Or
only
when you
people
get too
wanna
messy.
have a conversation with.
What's
only people
civil?
that you and
T.
Jesse want to have a conversation with the people that want to.
T.
Can I say something, James?
T. What's civil about asking about holiday pay? What's civil about that? When it's not your business. Everybody knows you hate Jesse Lee Peterson.
James, we didn't settle that, okay? We'll let
No,
that
what's
go,
civil about
okay?
that?
Now,
Answer.
Here you go.
You're
Now you're building it up.
pretending that you wanted to be civil. Like a woman. Women feel like they care, but they have no love. And that's you. I understand you have no peace and you want a little peace. But you don't come in honestly, man.
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yo,
yeah, go ahead.
Women don't have love, okay? We're jumping off a whole nother subject. Where did you learn that from, James?
What?
From your mother or your father?
About women don't have love?
Yeah. Did you learn that from your mother or your father?
I learned it from my mother. From watching her.
Oh, you learned? Oh, okay. So that's when you realized. You knew that before this black man started teaching you, right?
I don't know. I don't know when Jesse Lee doesn't teach people.
Did you have that philosophy?
Did you know that Jesse Lee doesn't
James,
teach people?
before?
Did you know that Jesse Lee Peterson does not teach people?
No, he just misguide people. That's
No.
That's exactly what he did. Okay?
Nope.
And you becoming to be just like him, Jane. I want you to know
okay.
that.
All right.
Okay?
Well, thank you, T.
Seriously.
Very civil of you to call in every time and complain about Jesse Lee Peterson on whose show you're banned. No. You're banned. And you have sour grapes.
Because he's a coward.
No, you're the coward. You can't even have an honest conversation.
That you're afraid of.
T,
let me ask you a question.
Are you not a coward when you refuse to answer any of my questions?
What's your question, James? You ain't
For one, I ask you, what good do you do in the world? And you're like, a whole lot more than you. Okay, that's not an answer. And then I ask you, what's civil?
True.
What's civil about coming in here asking about the private business workings of Bond or whatever? I asked what's civil about that. And you're like, moving on. So you refuse to answer questions. And yesterday you refused to answer questions. And you're like, oh, you're just setting up to hang up on me.
Question, James. So what's your question,
dense.
James? What's your question, man?
Anyway, I gotta go, man. Nice talking with you.
Argument, man.
Nice talking with you.
Yeah.
You have a good day.
Yeah, you as well, my brother.
All right. Isn't that nice? I wonder if he's Michael K's dad. Michael K. Williams' dad. T. From Alabama. What a mess. Anyway, guys, let me read actually some super chats. I got some super chats to read from yesterday. I actually have a lot to cover. Let me just give you a quick rundown of it. A nice white man was fired for being pro-life. I told you a little bit in the prior Jesse Lee Peterson show about that. Oh, turn on the AC. Too much hot air coming out of my mouth. It is hot in here. AC, please, as in air conditioning. There's another black female crying racism. A so-called, what is she called? Athlete. Another tennis player. Not to be confused with LeBron James. More fake news coming out against that ivermectin stuff. More fake news. And, there are Americans stranded, quote-unquote Americans stranded in Afghanistan, they say. But I look at this one example of an American who's stranded in Afghanistan, and it's a clip of her, and whatever. She does want to come back. She is supposedly American, but she doesn't look that American to me. Her name doesn't sound like an American name. And according to one Twitter reply, she traveled to Afghanistan in April or something, or June, to marry an Afghan national. What a mess. But, the Democrats are lying through their teeth, pretending that and they're pretending like they're all hard, like they're so tough. We told you, we gave you a warning to get out, but you didn't listen, so you're not being responsible. You had plenty of opportunity to get out, yet they're so soft-hearted to the blacks who can't get voter ID. Give me a break. So phony. But anyway, these super chats. Let me read these. Oh, yesterday about, I was talking at length about the unions. Mess. And Maze called in. She got all mad. What's up with Maze getting all mad anytime a white brings up something to do with blacks? A white will call in, make a passing mention of blacks, and she'll call in and tell him, you mind your own business. But she called in and told me that not all unions are forced to pay the union dues or force employees to pay union dues and all that stuff. And Robbie, shout out to the Facebook crew. I'm streaming on Facebook, YouTube, DLive, Trovo, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope. Periscope got subdued by Twitter and made inferior by Twitter. But anyway, Robbie on Facebook says, she's right. Postal employees do not have to join the postal union, but they get union protection anyway. Well, I guess that's nice, I guess. But is it? I know that the teachers' unions, here in California, I know some teachers who are Christians, and so they're not Democrats. And yet the teachers' unions that they are forced to join to work in public schools. And why wouldn't you want to work at a public school? Be a light in a dark place, right? So Christians should work in public schools if they can. As long as you can keep your job, right? Be wise. But they're forced to pay the union dues. So evil, right? Azador says, SEIU is basically Antifa. That's a service employee immigrant union. Basically, Antifa and violent so-called immigrants or illegals. Yeah, I believe that. The SEIU, service employees something something. And by the way, speaking of that man who was pumping up the unions, a fan and friend of the show, I would say, Mark in Santa Monica, he really loves us, but he disagrees with us on some things. Big Bump said red flags. He gets red flags when he hears someone saying that they hate this or that. All the hate rhetoric makes Mark's call very emotional, too passionate. And indeed, Mark, check yourself on that passion. Because that doesn't help you be clear-minded and right. Mays gave the same warning about him. Oh, he's going to get arrested. I doubt that. But still, it's not good for you. You want to be, and it's not good, period. You want to be of love. I forget what he said. If it was the NAACP, he hates the NAACP, which is a hate-filled organization. But just something to be aware of, guys. But yeah. Before I get to more calls, let me tell you about this nice white man fired for being pro-life in America. I'm sorry, I thought this was America. Is America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America. I saw this from Cernovich, Mike Cernovich, who's appeared on the Jesse Lee Peterson show and the Fallen State and a men's conference and stuff. He says, this tweet got him fired. You can't be pro-life in today's America. John Gibson, his most recent tweet from September 4th. He doesn't seem to spend a lot of time on Twitter, so I don't even know if he's been back on Twitter yet. Ram Yeager, RAMMJAEGER. I presume that's how it's pronounced, his Twitter handle. He tweeted, proud of hashtag U.S. Supreme Court affirming the Texas law banning abortion for babies with a heartbeat. How can you disagree with that? As an entertainer, I don't get political often. Yet with so many vocal peers on the other side, and by peers he means other people in the video game world, I'll tell you more about that. So many vocal peers on the other side of this issue, I felt it was important to go on record as a pro-life game developer. Well, good for you, John Gibson. Right on. And I look at his Twitter profile. He is was the president of TripWire Interactive. He's from Roswell, Georgia, I believe. According to Wikipedia, John Gibson's comments caught criticism, quote-unquote criticism, from people in the video game industry. I will note that I looked at the so-called criticism. No one actually criticized his comments because his comments are unassailable. How can you be for killing babies with who have a heartbeat? But no, they want to say, oh, abortion as early as 6 weeks. They don't want to acknowledge that it's a baby with a heartbeat. I just this morning caught that. Including Tom Banner Studios, which is, they had Tripwire for publishing, he used Tripwire for publishing some game, I gather, called Chivalry 2, and Shipwright Studios, which had been working with Tripwire for 3 years, but stated their intent to terminate these contracts due to the comments of John Gibson on his personal Twitter. Give me a break. By September 6th, John Gibson announced he was stepping down as CEO of Tripwire, and the company issued its own announcement. Look at this guy. He's a nice white man. Ram Yeager, September 3rd, tweeted his selfie on the ground at PAX West, which is, I gather, a convention or something. Seattle friends or game developers attending the show, hit me up if you want to meet. And look at him, smiling white man, has a beard, receding hair. He's like roughly my age, give or take 10 years maybe. And he's just posting selfies, being friendly. And the replies even on this tweet, because this tweet was from September 3rd, and yesterday was September 6th, and he was getting flooded with nasty comments. Wear a GD mask. GD being the cuss word, right? Can you imagine this blanking guy wants to force you to have his baby? Barf. My using that voice makes me cough. That was from a stupid woman, right? Am I wrong for saying stupid woman? For saying stupid, I mean? But she is, biblically, in the biblical sense, stupid. Anyone who doesn't fear the Lord is stupid. Including most of us, right? And one guy posted the Tripwire statement from, just some guy posted it. Here's the statement on the Tripwire website, which he was the CEO of. I think he co-founded it, but I don't know. Tripwire appoints a new interim CEO, Alan Wilson, as the company moves forward. This is a quote from TripWire website. The comments given by John Gibson are of his own opinion and do not reflect the TripWire Interactive as a company. His comments disregarded the values of our whole team. Values? Killing babies is a value? Our partners and much of our broader community. Our leadership team at TripWire is deeply sorry, and we are unified in the commitment to take swift action and foster a more positive environment. Positive towards women killing babies, women and so-called doctors who take a Hippocratic oath to do no harm. Effective immediately, John Gibson has stepped down as CEO of TripWire Interactive. Co-founding member and current vice president Alan Wilson will take over as interim CEO. Alan has been with the company since its formation in 2005 and is an active lead in both the studio's business and developmental affairs. Alan will work with the rest of the TripWire leadership team to take steps with employees and partners to address their concerns, including executing a company-wide town hall meeting and promoting open dialogue with TripWire leadership and all employees. Open dialogue, sure, this will open up dialogue. Firing a guy for saying his personal opinion, which happens to be a right opinion, right? It's not even anyway, personal view. His understanding of both the company's culture and creative vision of our games will carry the team through this transition with full support from the other TripWire leaders. So Tom Banner Studios is one of the people who pressured these guys. Tom Banner Studios is another company that worked with this company. And these cowards, or women, same thing, right, tweeted, "We do not share the opinion expressed in a recent tweet by the president of TripWire, publisher of Chivalry 2. This perspective is not shared by our team, nor is it reflected in the games we create." I'm sorry, I didn't know games had commentary about abortion. "The statement stands in opposition to what we believe about women's rights." It's enough to make you cuss or spit how evil these people are. It's disgusting. It's women's rights to kill the baby. On a positive note, Seth Dillon. Ever heard of Seth Dillon? He's of Babylon Bee. You know Babylon Bee? I haven't really talked about them on my show, but I see them a lot. They're like a version of The Onion that is conservative or Christian and like actually funny anymore, because the Onion has turned just cringy, phony, pathetic. They used to be clever. They just turned bleh. Anyway, Seth Dillon tweeted, "The champions of tolerance and diversity," meaning the stupid SJWs, "will destroy you and apologize for ever knowing you if you express the wrong opinion on Twitter. I hope Ram Yeager," meaning this, what's his name again? John Gibson guy, "never apologizes, and I hope he starts his own game development company. I'd love to play a role in funding it." That's nice, Seth Dillon. One door closes, another door opens. Isn't that nice? Anyway, that's just another example of the sick world going on. I remember several years ago, the co-founder of Mozilla, Firefox, Brendan Eich. I told you about this actually a few months ago, or several months ago, or less. Brendan Eich, I recounted the story. He donated to the popular vote in California from, I think, 2008, I recall voting. Yes on 8, Prop 8, defined marriage as between one man and one woman, and that was popularly voted into law, I guess. But was that law ever enforced? No, it was not, because we have an establishment that hates the will of the people when the will of the people is good. Did you know that? In California, we have multiple things that the people voted in, like Prop 187, not to be confused with murder. 187 said no welfare for illegal aliens and social services for illegal aliens. And that was held up in the courts and by the stupid governor and attorney general or whatever, all these corrupt people, both elected and unelected officials, holding up the will of the people, popularly voted in. Well, Brendan Eich donated to Prop 8, and he was for marriages between one man and one woman. And I think he came up with, invented JavaScript, which like is a foundational code language or something like that. I don't know. Some of you guys know that stuff. And then he moved on after being fired as the CEO or whatever of Mozilla. Phoniness. Just for sensibleness. Marriage is between one man and one woman. Anything else is not a marriage. It's not. Especially in the New Testament, right? A church leader is supposed to be the husband of but one wife. So all these people who are like, oh, we should have polygamy, all these blacks, and, well, the Mormons don't do it so much anymore. Nope. And the Muslims. The children suffer when you're competing for the parents' attention amongst a bunch of women, right? Sick. But Brendan Ike was not for the so-called same-sex marriage. Mozilla Firefox, yeah. And so Mozilla's enemies of America. Enemies of what's right. I thought, where's the spirit of the freedom of speech and the replies to this guy? Oh my gosh. I wonder if I have the replies handy. It's ridiculous, though. I think I do. Yeah, I have some nasty replies. Just to share these with you. It's enough to make your blood boil, I guess. John Gibson tweeted that, right? Proud of the Supreme Court affirming the Texas law banning abortion for babies with a heartbeat. Heidi O'Mahony says, so if you lived in Texas and your daughter was raped and she found out she was pregnant at 7 weeks, you would make her have it? Or as you probably have money, you would fly her to the nearest state where it's legal. No, Heidi. Alejandro Velasquez says, give up the baby for adoption, but I would not murder a baby, so thank you, Alejandra Velasquez. Or don't even give it up for adoption. Keep the baby. The baby wants the real parents, the real mother. And so-called raped. Everything's called rape nowadays. Give me a break. So, anyway, the replies are so ridiculous. These people are so pro killing babies and so illogical. It's a woman's body. Oh, because she has to suffer extreme difficulty. Give me a break. Anyway, let me try to get to another call before we get to the top of the hour break here and give you some more of the Knights of the New Crusade. Humbled Chris Anderson says, yeah, because 60 million abortions happened in America were all from rape. Yeah, it's like less than 2% are from alleged rape and incest and stuff like that. And even those babies, once they're born, they're happy to be alive. And the parents, the mothers of those babies are happy they had the baby. Give me a break. They suffer from false guilt from killing the baby all their lives. 90% of abortions are for convenience for what Kevin House calls whores. I thought whores get paid, but anyway, whatever. Let me get to Jeremiah in Louisiana. Jeremiah, thank you for calling and holding. What's up?
All right, what's going on?
Nothing. Why are you always so low energy?
I don't know. I mean,
all right.
I don't know. I don't know about low energy, but I was trying to see what I noticed that you were talking about the word Niger the other day.
No, I was not talking about the word Niger.
Well, someone called in saying that the origins of the word Niger came from Nigeria, right?
Yeah, somebody said, oh, Niger. No, the country of Niger. Not to be confused with Nigeria. No, it originated from like the Latin word Niger. Maybe it's Niger. I don't know. But I'm not familiar with Latin that much.
It does actually come from that region, though.
No, it doesn't come from that region. It comes from the Latin word, man.
The Niger River? Have you heard of the Niger River?
It comes from the Latin word for black.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So do you know Barnabas and Simeon were called Niger?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, well, they were in the New Testament.
I can't believe a word you say because you
now-
think you're a black Hebrew Israelite.
Well, read the Bible. It's in the Bible.
No.
No.
No. It's
hold
not.
on.
I don't even believe that.
Ham.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Okay, well, it's in the Bible. Hank.
I don't buy.
Sorry
I
to
don't
tell
buy you saying you say stuff is in the Bible that's not in the Bible.
It's in Acts. You want me to
So
tell
you
you what
claim.
verse- what
So you
chapter?
claim.
You want me to tell you what? Okay.
So you claim.
Ham, right? Ham. You do know you
Ham,
consider
Shem,
to
and
be
Japheth.
African, right?
What?
You consider Ham to be African?
I have no idea. I'm not into that mess.
You're not into that mess, huh?
That's right. You're
Oh my
into the
God.
physical.
Hank,
As
you have said this
Lord
before.
Grimm says, you are a
Shem-
flesh person. You
Okay,
believe in
so
the flesh. You don't believe in the spirit.
So do you believe
You are an
Egyptians?
empty person.
You believe Egyptians are white? I heard you say that before.
I never said Egyptians are white. I know that they're lighter skinned than that. They're not. They don't tend to be black.
They don't tend to be black. So the ancient Egyptians were black, though, right?
I don't know that.
The modern Egyptians may be.
And what is it?
lighter-skinned,
What is
yeah.
it to you if they were?
What is it? Egyptians aren't anything to me. I'm just saying.
Then why are you bringing it up? If they aren't
Because
anything to
said
you,
they were
why are
white.
you bringing it up?
Because you said they were white.
No, I never said they were anything. I'm not into that mess. I'm not into the color.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
You
not.
are very much into it.
No, you are.
Did you get,
You
Hold
are,
on.
and so you
Why
think
did you
I
get-
am.
So why did you get so mad at whatchamacallit Chuck for calling you pink? when you
Because I'm
called
not
it-
pink. I'm white.
You are pink.
No, I'm white.
You're pink.
I'm white.
Yeah, you are. You're pink.
No, you're pink.
So
You're pink.
you're
pink.
You get mad when somebody calls you pink.
Because
But
I'm not pink. I'm white.
We're supposed to take you talking as black when we're not black. We're brown.
No, you're black.
You're actually pink.
No, you're actually black and pink.
No,
You're black and
actually
pink. I'm
You're
not pink. I'm white.
You're pink, man. You're pink as a swine. You're pink as a pig. For real.
Oh, okay. Pigs
That's
are
what
pink,
you
says Jib Jab.
Yeah, you are pink. You're pink.
And so why are you so into the color? Why do you want me to be pink? Do you have like a crush on me or something, you sicko?
I'm not into color. I'm just telling you.
Oh, yes,
who
you are. You are
You're
extremely into color. You're telling me that
This
Simeon
whole
and
show
whatever
is
are,
into
are
color.
Niger.
You
That means
guys-
they're black.
You got, when in doubt, blame the blacks.
You are
That's all you do
you
is
are
talk
so
about black
insecure. This is so
You're
retarded,
so
says
into
Noah's
black people. I
Arkansas.
think you want it to be
You are
black.
so insecure that you're falling into the I'm a
You're
black
so-
Hebrew
you're-
Israelite
you're
thing.
so- you're
Do you
so
know your
into
father?
Black people. I thought you wanted to be black.
Do
Yes,
you know
I
your
do.
father?
Yes, I do.
And do you love your father?
He's a very good man. Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you do not.
How are you going to tell me?
I know because you
The
don't love
fact of
me.
the matter is this,
You don't love
You're
me?
Pink.
You
You're
don't
not
love
my
me?
Father. You're pink. You're an Edomite.
You
You're
don't love
beneath
me?
Why would I love you?
Because
Why would
you
I
would
love
love me if you had any love to give, but you have zero love.
I have love for my people.
No, you do
Just
not.
like you have love for
You
yours.
don't have love
you
for
don't-
anyone.
You,
Who are your people?
You do not have love
Who
for
are
black
your people?
So-called African Americans.
See, you are into the color thing.
No,
Who's this
no,
caller?
I'm not
Asks
into
Super
color.
Dave. This
I
is
said
Jeremiah.
so-called.
This
I
is
said
Jeremiah
so-called
from
African
Louisiana. He doesn't even know he's American.
I don't love Africans.
I thought you didn't even know you were American. Oh yeah,
I
you
don't
don't.
love Africans. Just like I don't love Edomites. I don't love Africans the same way.
And you don't love
Just
your
like I
own
don't love
people
Edomites.
either.
I don't love East Indians the same way.
Because you're a blind
Just like
person,
I don't
Jeremiah.
love Edomites, I don't love Asians the same way.
Do you think you can?
It's just
Do you
Edomites
think you can hate
are
one
at
and
the
love
top
the
of my
other?
list. Absolutely. I don't have to favor
See, you're
you.
blind.
Just to, I can love my people and not favor you.
You are
Like,
a blind
I don't
person.
have to-
Do you love your enemy?
No.
See? Then you don't even
The
no. Then
enemy-
you don't
the
even
enemy- the
you don't even
Edomites,
believe in God.
I don't love. No, I don't love the. My enemy.
You don't even believe the
book
Bible
says
that you keep on
my
quoting.
The neighbor is my brother. My neighbor.
You
is
don't
my
even
nation.
believe the Bible that you keep on quoting.
The Bible was never meant for you, Hank. It was never meant for you or your people.
I know it was meant for you, and you didn't even accept it. What a loser!
Other heathen nations.
What a
or the other
loser!
heathen nations. It wasn't never meant for any of y'all. It wasn't
Okay,
meant for the Africans.
then how come you keep
It
on
wasn't
trying
meant
to
for
push
you.
it on me?
It wasn't meant for Asians.
If it's not
It
meant
was
for me,
because you-
Jeremiah,
because you like to
Jeremiah,
say stuff about the Bible. It's
Jeremiah,
not true.
Jeremiah, if it wasn't meant for me, why do you push it on me?
because you like to quote the Bible, and I'm trying to tell you how ignorant you really are.
But you're an ignorant
very
person
ignorant.
too. What the heck?
You are the N-word. You know that?
Thank
You
you.
are the
Thank you.
epitome of the
We
N-word.
love.
You are very
Well,
ignorant.
I don't know about Chris anymore, but when I get called the N-word, I high five my white bros because we love being called the N-word.
Oh, that's beautiful, because that's who you are. That's who you and your
Thank you.
Pink buddies are.
No. We're
Y'all
white. We are white.
Y'all are the real N-words, because
No.
y'all stole the book.
Oh, you're the
and didn't
real
even know what
N-words.
it was. Didn't even know what it meant. Don't know the secrets of the book, but y'all put y'all's own agenda onto the book, and now you created this
All right. On a serious note.
matrix
On a
of
serious
America.
note. Coldburger Art says, poor guy. He's sad alone, holding on to his ethnic roots, referring to
I'm
you.
not alone. Trust me, I have a nation with me.
Oh, okay, and you were
Trust me.
Kangs.
It's like,
Don't you
hey,
know, Jeremiah? Don't you
the
know?
stuff I say is true. From your spirit
Don't
to,
you
to
know?
nationality, you know it's true.
Don't you know everyone must stand alone?
I know everyone must get judged alone. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But as a nation,
And
it's
you are a
it's our duty-
judgmental person playing God and being a
It's
mess.
our duty to be responsible to tell our brother, hey, you're going the wrong way.
So how come
Now,
you listen to my show?
It's up to him. It's up to him to accept it or not.
How come
Because
you
I
listen to
see
my
all
show?
I see the ignorant rhetoric you push on the show, and it's a must that I correct it.
There's
for
a
like
whole
more-
lot of
people like
ignorant
Lord
rhetoric
Graham,
being pushed everywhere.
like Lord
But you
Graham,
choose my
people
show.
like people like William and Lord Grimm, they may need it. Now, it's just entertainment for real. But
Oh,
if
thank
they
you.
hear or
I'm
whether they
flattered.
feel better, you know, it's up to them. You know. But
So
like you
you're
said,
calling
all
me
is
entertaining?
so. Yeah, you're very entertaining.
Maybe I am a real N-word because blacks are very entertaining.
You are very entertaining.
Thank you, man.
Very.
I appreciate that.
You will definitely be you will definitely be judged one day.
Asmodor, yeah, I know. Jeremiah.
For this ignorance you push on this show.
Asmodor says, Jeremiah has such low self-esteem that he takes credit for the pyramids and the Bible, neither of which has African ancestors had anything to do with. They've never even invented the wheel.
Would he say the Egyptians are white?
They never even invented the wheel.
Would he say the Egyptians are white?
Address your low self-esteem comment.
Address the low self-esteem comment? What?
Yeah, that you take
I don't
credit
have a
for
low
the pyramids
self-esteem.
and the Bible and ancient history.
My people wrote the Bible. How would I have a low self-esteem?
See?
Your people.
So before you knew your people had the Bible, did you have a low self-esteem?
That's all your people have done in history is stole. That's all they've done.
Were you raised this way?
No, I was actually raised to love you people. And that was a brainwash. That was the brainwash.
And so did you have low self-esteem at that point?
I've been out of that for about 15 years now, right?
Did you have low self-esteem at that point?
I've actually been free.
Did you have low self-esteem when you were brainwashed to love white people?
Absolutely.
Wow. And so this cured you of your low self-esteem. So you hold on to it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a mess.
Yeah.
Linya and Chin with this Trovo colorful chat says Jeremiah is low IQ and even lower in wisdom. Hold on. Let me just finish it. You can respond. I will let you respond. I promise. Jeremiah is low IQ and even lower in wisdom. He probably believes wisdom is a kind of knowledge instead of a sense of knowledge, of knowing, seeing thyself and God through inner stillness. Are you still within ever, Jeremiah?
I am. I'm learning more about faith. Yeah, about having faith.
You do the silent prayer?
No, but what you guys don't understand is you just said you don't know who Ham is. You don't even
I know who
the
Ham
Tower
is.
of Babel
I know who
was.
Ham was. He's dead. He was the son of. He was the son of
Do you know
Noah.
he's the progenitor of Africa?
Let me finish Linya and Chin's comment first. Satan guides Jeremiah's 82 IQ. That's what Linya and Chin said. Did you know that Satan is guiding you?
Doesn't know whoever he or she is. They don't know who they're talking about.
He is a man.
No, it sounds like a woman's name.
The Bible
Lin
was
Chin.
written in the
I'm
Levant.
Asian. I don't pay attention to Asians anyway.
He's black too.
Unless they're
He's
Israelites.
Jamaican
Now,
by his
there
father.
Are Israelites in Asia. There are Israelites in Asia.
He's Jamaican
but
by his
he sounds
father.
like an Asian.
No, he's Jamaican and Asian, I think. The Bible was written in the
Jamaican
Levant.
and Asian. Well, that's what. Okay, well, if he's
No
Jamaican
one claims
by his father,
white.
then he's actually an
No
Israelite.
one claims white man wrote it. So how did we steal it?
Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, the Roman Catholics. What are you talking about? The doctrine that's being pushed throughout the world is the so-called white man's doctrine. It's you Edomites. You push.
It's
you
because
push this doctrine that
it's
there's a
because we
Trinity.
embraced Christianity, and we did well for it. I think.
You guys push this Trinity doctrine that God loves everyone. God doesn't love everyone.
That's not a
God
Trinity
doesn't
doctrine that God loves everyone. What the heck? Those are two different issues.
I didn't say it was. I said it was two different. Those two separate things.
Oh, okay.
The Trinity doctrine being the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost are one.
Right.
Or are equal. They're equal.
They are
You guys
one.
push that.
They are
You
one,
guys
but they
push
aren't
that
the
crap.
same thing.
Well, I'll give you that, Hank. You actually don't push that, but a lot of you Edomite push that they're equal. They're not. A lot of you Edomite push that God loves everyone.
I don't
you,
call.
you believe
I don't.
that, Hank.
What? But God does love
You
everyone.
believe God loves everyone, don't you?
Did Jesus
Don't you
not
believe
say
God loves everyone?
love your enemy?
What's that?
Did Jesus not say love your enemy?
He was talking about your brother. He was not talking about you Edomites.
All right.
He was talking about your fellow Israelites. He was not talking about you Edomites.
Then
He
how
wasn't
come he
talking
was?
about the
How come he
Africans.
was nice to the Samaritans?
He was nice to the Samaritans that were Israelites.
Whatever.
He was not nice to the Samaritans that were actually Samaritans.
Last comment. Last comment for
He
you.
was not nice to the lady that came and begged to rid her daughter of a demon.
Oh yeah, he was nice to her in the end. He's like he
was
called her
nice
a
to him,
dog, but he
what did
still
tell-
healed her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, Hank. He called
That's
her
great.
a dog.
Isn't that nice? Call
That's
a dog
not
a dog.
That's not
Anyway,
nice.
I mean it's
But it's true.
he acted right
You're a
to
dog,
everyone.
Hank. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you're swine. You're not even a dog. You're swine.
Well, thank you. Ledge Klinger.
Yeah.
Ledge Klinger says Jeremiah's self-importance is his ignorance.
I'm very important. I'm more important than any of you heathens.
Well, man, it's been nice talking with you.
Oh, yeah. Nice talking to you too, Hank.
Have a good one.
Me too.
Adios. Guys, we are at the top of the hour. I have more stuff to get to, calls to get to. Lord Grimm has some wisdom about Jeremiah calling Hake pink. That's coming up in the new hour if Lord Grimm is able to hold on. Another black female crying racism and all that mess. Even more in ivermectin fake news. But first, let me play more Knights of the New Crusade. I think you might like this song, even though they are bad, no good, or were. And I will check Streamlabs too. Thank you for the super chats. There are black pigs, by the way. Enjoy Father Bingo from the 2006 album, A Challenge to the Cowards of Christendom. Enjoy and hang tight for the rest of hour 2.
Father Bingo. Yeah, there he goes. With his long black limousine and his fancy clothes. Irish linen collar. Casket of black silk. He fleeces his flock just to pay for his honey and milk. Yeah, I know your secret. You bought a fancy home. 'Cause you skim off half of the money you're supposed to send to Rome. Father Bingo, your soul is jarred from selling indulgences and bingo cards. Father Bingo. You know, it's a shame. Using God's holy name for your gambling games. Yeah, Father Bingo. It's all in fun. Till someone loses too much money and ends their life with a gun.
So good. Am I right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm not right. But that's the Knights of the New Crusade, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Got some super chats for you to read. I gotta read these. Hydro gave a super chat on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. If it's spelling out the word, am I allowed to say the word? I'm reading it. I think I have to censor it. I think I better censor it. Hydro says, Hake, you my net. Beep. Gah. N-I-G-G-A. N-word, 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 N-word. I'm 100% N-word. N-word, 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 N-word. I'm 200% N-word. N-word, 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 N-word. Well, thank you, Hydro. I appreciate that. I take it as a compliment. High five to you. Someone gave a super chat. By the way, that's a song. I was quoting a rap song. N-I-G-G-A. Someone gave a super chat on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. You can go there if you want to support. I'm 90% sure Jeremiah is a baby daddy and not a husband. Whoa, don't get into speculation, someone, but I think he might actually be married. A lot of those Hebrew Israelites, they whip into some form of shape, right? Same thing with the NOI people. They have a semblance of righteousness, but reject the heart, reject the spirit of love. They harbor hatred. The NOI people, Nation of Islam, idiots. Same thing with the black Hebrew Israelites. They start to act a little bit better. But I don't know. Maybe he is a baby daddy and not a husband. But I don't think so. But I don't know. But I appreciate it. Someone. Azador says, can't we just force Israel to take all these Hebrew Israelites? They're so unhappy here in Edom. Breaking news, says Honda Bear. Israel experiences bike shortages like never before. Reminds me of that Owen Benjamin thing. Hey, that N-word stole my bike. Except he doesn't say N-word. It's offensive to say N-word around Owen Benjamin. You have to say the actual word with the hard R. This guy is, okay, here's a serious one from the end. This guy is wasting his life being proud, supporting lies. He should practice humility if he wants to please God. That's true. God opposes the humble, but gives grace to the... No, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. I almost got it backwards. I've been digging the music, Hake, says Kilo Alpha 1. Right on, man. And Black Stepdad says commies were also called pinkos. Heads up, guys. Is he calling me a commie pig? A communist pig? DeWhite says Acts 13:1. Hake, stop being immigrant. Know the Bible and stop worrying about being thought of as a Bible thumper. Not very Zionist of Hake, was it? Oh, I am pro-Zion. Zion, the word Zion is in the Bible, so it sounds like a positive thing in my opinion. And Zion, I've heard, is nationalist for Israel. I'm okay with that. I'm not for worldwide liberal Jews running the world. Not that kind. But I am for Israel. You're supposed to love everybody, right? Wish them well. Don't hate. But America first. Pinko commie is a great thing to call them. Has a good ring to it. Traditional. Yeah. Anyway. Let me get to Lord Graham. He wants to talk about this mess that we've just went through at the end of the first hour. Lord Graham, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on? Hake, my brother. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Appreciate it.
Amazing. So yeah, let me go ahead and start off with Jeremiah, you definitely filled with hate, man. I may not know my roses, you know what I mean? But Jeremiah, you definitely are filled with hate.
Yeah.
And this is just, respect. I'm saying this respectfully. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing.
Right.
But everything he said came from a hateful. It derived from a hateful perspective, in my opinion. And he said you're like slime and all that kind of stuff.
Swine, like a pig, not slime.
Oh, swine.
Yeah.
It's
not much better. Not much better than slime.
I was getting ready to say that's pretty much still, disrespectful.
Right. Yeah. True.
You know what I mean? But if someone referred to him as a monkey or something like that, then he'll be the first to try to, you racist. And that's my problem with the blacks. Like, they always want to try to come for, you and pretty much anybody that's white. And I mean, they could call me whatever they want to call me for saying this, but they really have become the new racists. And I'm not really into like, okay, you're racist, they're racist, and all that. I don't really believe in labeling people that. But if anybody had the characteristics of that, it would be these blacks in today's society, in today's time. They're the ones that's pushing this hatred. Just because of someone's skin and ethnicity and stuff like that. Their whole mindset is literally about skin and ethnicity, and they don't see anything past that. And that's what I mean. Unfortunately, Jeremiah, he's so religious and all this and that, but you can't possibly be into spiritual, into God, if your mind is still stuck in flesh and your head is still stuck in the ground in that sense, because it's not about flesh, man. I mean, as many passages, as many verses as you want to bring out in the Bible about your hatred towards white people, why don't you ever talk about the passages that literally talk about how God came for the whole world? How, I mean, the most memorable and significant passage and verse is when he said that, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities and wickedness in high places.
Yeah.
So that's like, I mean, even people that don't read the Bible like that know that particular quote, and that right there speaks volumes, you know what I'm saying? But he'll disregard that. He'll literally disregard that and bypass that, because he knows that that's not what he wants to hear. That's not going along with his with this nice little hatred he has. So he only focuses on the stuff that he could kind of twist around and make it seem like it means something else that it doesn't. And that's what the Israelites do, And I will say this, I will be real and honest about something. I used to fall victim to that same Israelite stuff. I used to back in my fallen state days, I used to have a little bit of a hatred towards white people because of the way I was raised. And, I was raised in D.C. I was raised to love the Democrats. And, I was a typical person from D.C. raised that way. You know what I'm saying? And I had to see for myself. Nobody else, showed me. My mom didn't. My mom definitely didn't show me. Nobody else showed me. I had to see for myself. And once I started realizing that it was a bunch of BS, man, and I started seeing for myself, then it started making sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole agenda, and Jeremiah doesn't even know he's taking part in it. It's a whole divide agenda where they want you to feel divisive. They want you to feel like, oh, just hate the white. It's white people's problem. It's white people's fault for this and that. They want you to feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So it could continue to press on this narrative, of hatred with different races and nationalities and stuff, just to keep dividing people. That's all it's about. And instead of Jeremiah, like, I like what that guy said to Jesse on the other call when he told Jesse, I used to not agree with a lot of the stuff you said, but I find myself focusing more on what we agree with rather than what we disagree with, and try to go from there. A lot of these callers like Jeremiah and them, they don't want to focus on anything that you agree with, like that they might have agreements with you on. They don't want to focus on any of that. All they want to focus on is what I disagree with, so I could call Hake out, so I could try to belittle him, so I could try to get under his skin, so I could try to throw him off. Because that's all children of Satan want to do, is try to distract, throw you off, make you, throw you off your game and just throw you off your balance. You know what I'm saying? And all you're trying to do, honestly, is just spread truth, man. You're just being a humble, you know what I'm saying, decent white guy, just trying to spread truth. They want to make you out to be, just like they try to make Trump seem to be like he's racist and stuff. They want to make you seem like you're racist when you have no connection at all towards anything that's racist. I mean,
I know.
No connection whatsoever. And also, I want to say this real quick. Let me say, man, you know, people like Tony and them, they hate on the fact that you have people like me and William and Art that have a mind for ourselves that's black. That's one thing black people cannot stand, other than a so-called white supremacist. They can't stand a black person who thinks for themselves, because automatically they just off you off. They just kind of make you like an outsider. You're not black. You're Uncle Tom. They start labeling you. You know, they start trying to treat you just like how they treat white people and stuff. So Tony and them, they want to make you feel like, oh, me and William, and then we're always trying to be your bodyguard, and all that. Don't make them try to use reverse psychology. Don't make them try to make you feel like, oh, don't put them on the phone with us because they're always trying to come to your defense. That's their way of trying to make you feel bad about it. Listen, anytime you feel like you want me on the phone, put me on the phone.
I know, man. I appreciate it, Lord Grimm. You know,
put me on the phone, and let me say this real quick too. Chuck is afraid. And he's one of them little, he sounds like a little small fry too. You know what I mean? The type of dude with the short guy complex, always trying to act like he goes so hard. Yeah, Hake. Yeah. You scared, Hake. You scared. Man, Chuck, shut your clown self up, man. Ain't nobody scared of you, man.
Yeah.
For real. And Hake,
he's talking about a different caller. Chuck from Detroit.
Yeah, Hake is not scared of you either. Nobody's not scared of you, boy. You sound like you're probably like 5'6", maybe 5'7". You know what I'm saying? Nobody's not afraid of you, Chuck. You just an average clown just trying to call up, get your two seconds of fame, and try to make Hake ruin Hake day, which is not going to work. It's not going to. We're too alpha for that, buddy. We're way too alpha for that.
You know,
take that stuff elsewhere.
You know, Moose Simpson gave a great comment. He said 77% of blacks don't know their father, but somehow they know which person in the Bible was their ancestor.
Right.
They're into. And somebody else, Ghostwriter, says he isn't religious, talking about Jeremiah. He's taking the accomplishments of others as his own. He writes coattails. He has nothing at all to offer. And that is the typical people who are into the black thing. They just don't have family, so they identify with race.
Right. And let me just say this real quick, too. You know, back to the Israelite thing. When I used to be in my fallen state, the only reason why I even kind of, you know, looked into the Israelite thing a little bit was because I had a little hatred in me towards white people at the time.
Right.
And the Israelites, they kind of instigate the hatred. They kind of make you feel good about hating white people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so for a black person who has real hate towards white people and blame them for all their stuff that they can't get right in life personally, for that average black person, they love the Israelites because it really condones their hatred that they already personally have, and it makes them feel so good and being hateful towards white people. So that's why a lot of blacks go with that stuff. And it's sad because, I mean, pretty much what I'm saying is for you to even side with Israelites, you have to have hate, because that's pretty much what their foundation is built off. Like, we're the chosen ones. We're the black. We have all the melanin in our skin. We're better. We're the chosen ones and all that. And see, look at the whites. We're better than them, you know, blah, blah, blah. Even though they don't show us that they're better.
Yeah.
They're first in line and say, we're better. Well, show us. Stop killing each other every freaking day. Stop, you know, at the blink of an eye, just killing your own so-called kind. Just stop doing it and stop trying to brush it under the rug and then shed more light on a little bit of white on black killings that happen.
Right.
Okay. Like, come on, man.
It's ridiculous.
First of all, be real with yourselves, man, and lead by example. Show people that y'all worthy of respect and stuff like that. Instead of sagging your pants with this, you know, walking around with your nasty attitudes and stuff like that, blaming everybody for your own wrongs. I mean, it's not going to make anything better.
Yeah, it's really not.
Simple as that, man. Simple as that.
Super One Fluidity says the reason why Jeremiah listens to you and Jesse is he secretly hopes to lose his shackles and chains that bind him. He is hurting inside. Maybe.
Yeah. No, he hit it right on the nose. You know, these people are definitely hurting inside. That's what makes them feel the way they feel. That's why they look at white people the way they look at white people. I'm telling you, it all stems from hatred, pure hatred. Like Jesse said, I mean, anger and hatred, all that stuff is in the same bracket. You know what I mean? When Jeremiah calls up, he's not calling up to find anything y'all agree on. He's not trying to have a real like dialogue and trying to get something out of it. His whole point of calling is to try to disrupt what we got going on as far as your show, spread spreading truth, but he also want to get under your skin personally because he don't like you because you're white.
Right.
And I'll be the first to tell you that as a so-called black guy or a guy with melanin in his skin, I'll be the first to tell you that. And if they got a problem with that, if they got any sort of problem with that, that's on them.
Right.
That's on them. I'm always stand up for truth. Call me whatever you want to call me. I'm always stand up for truth. And if I side with Hake because he's spreading truth, then guess what? I'm siding with Hake, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Nobody's not his bodyguard. He's a grown man. He's more growner than I am. But at the same time, I'm gonna call a spade, and it's just what it is.
Yeah, Lord Grimm. And I think it's not just that. I think the white people hate is not really the root of it anyway. They don't, like JLP says, they're disconnected from their fathers. Richard Del Monte says, that super chat didn't make sense. Being born out of wedlock doesn't mean that you don't know your father. Being born out of wedlock is an indicator. And most blacks are, because they're into the black thing, they're separated from their fathers. Because they're trying to go around their fathers to get to the race thing, to have some form of identity, but they don't have their real identity. So in that sense, they don't know their father.
I mean, being born out of wedlock is wrong, but it's a symptom. I think the biggest critical thing is, okay, if you actually fall in that and you do birth a child out of wedlock, or you have a child out of wedlock, the best thing you could do from that, okay, just accept you did wrong, or maybe apologize to your child, if they can, whenever they old enough to understand, but also make sure that you and the other parent are co-parenting that child. Make sure that both of you guys are in that child's life, so that they can know mom and dad. Because what happens is sometimes with these parents, they have hatred towards each other or anger towards each other, and then they put the child in the middle of it, and then the child has to suffer, and they're not thinking about the child because they're thinking through their own mind. It's kind of like a selfish thing too, because they only consider their own how they feel, and they're not considering how the child feels. I actually know a lady who has a child with a guy. I'm not gonna get into it, but she has a child with a guy. Yeah. And she just like a close friend of mine, but she has a child with a guy, and the guy won't let her see her. Like, he literally won't let her see the child, and she's not even a bad. Like, I won't say she's a good woman or nothing, because no woman is good. Yeah. But she doesn't come across as like a mom that doesn't want to be in her child's life. So I mean, just it sounds like he's just mad at her. He wants to keep the child away because of that. So just make sure if you have a child, just please, try to keep the child separate from your own feelings towards your the person you had a child with, because it's not about you guys, it's about the child. And you got to put your personal feelings aside, man. It's very critical, very critical, and very crucial.
Blacks hate each other, but they turn around and blame whites for supposedly hating them. It's their imagination. It's so wrong.
Let me tell you something. Blacks hate each other more than whites could ever hate. Right. And that's something I personally feel. That's something I personally went through. That's something I personally experienced. They want to talk about experiencing racism. I experience hatred from other blacks on a daily basis. I don't never experience racism with white people and stuff like that. I can't even remember it ever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. It just is what it is, but they're in denial about it. If they want to keep their head in the ground, hey, let them do it. But calling up to the show and keep trying to push this bullcrap, sometimes it gets a little played out. Like, people tired of hearing you, Jeremiah, just the same thing, trying to get under Hake's skin. Like, people, like, you're so stupid. Oh, you're pink. Like, come on, bro. What are we, kids? You call them names and stuff, trying to make them feel bad. Like, come on, man.
Gotta go, Lord Grimm. Appreciate it, man. Great call.
All right.
Take care.
Have a good one, Hake. Thank you, man.
All right. Wow. Well, quickly, guys, there's one line open. I will be getting to your calls. I have my favorite caller and her night rider from the sundown town, Blazing Hawgs. Also there in Dayton, Ohio. Leah in California, Teronzo in Oklahoma, and the rest of the callers. Hang tight. Another black female crying racism. Give me a break. What else is new? I told you about this in Hake News. Sloane Stephens. I have some photos of her, mostly of her father and mother, her late father and mother. She had a stepdad who, I think he also died, but her father died after. Listen to this. Sloane Stephens, this is her, 28-year-old black female tennis player, kind of like LeBron James. and crying racism, just like LeBron James. Over the weekend, the 28-year-old so-called American who hates America, brainwashed to hate America now, tennis player opened up about her 2,000 threatening and racist messages she's received since losing the U.S. Open this year. Anytime you fail, they go after you. They jump on you. It was reported by Axios, which is a far-left Enemies of America newish outlet. And she's black. She joined other athletes over the past year, calling out hate. Phony. Remember that black Asian Naomi Osaka head case? Talented tennis player, but a total head case, mixed race, black and Asian. I think she plays for Japan, right? I don't know. Crying anti-Asian hate last March. Remember the Asian hate crimes? It was mostly blacks doing it, but they're pretending, oh, I was ostracized by white people. Oh, and that's hate. You hate whites. And then the black soccer players over in like England or Europe in July or something like that, crying racism against officials who condemned the fans for getting all racial rights, allegedly, around July. Sloane Stephens said the abuse was exhausting and never ending. So she's falling right into the trap of the pressure to cry racism and play victim when you're supposed to be a winner. Talented tennis player, daughter of two great black American athletes, born in Plantation, Florida. In 1993, this woman was born, according to Wikipedia, to a black female collegiate swimmer, of all things, a black swimmer. Usually blacks, where I came from, blacks, they weren't good at swimming. They sank. In fact, there was a black talented runner when I was in high school, and he died. The boat turned over at a summer camp, according to the story, and he died. He was like the best runner in our league, senior year of high school. Sybil Smith, S-Y-B-I-L, Sybil? I don't know how to pronounce that name. She was a talented swimmer, and she's all into her daughter playing tennis. And the late American pro football player, John Stephens, who died in 2009 when she was 16. And she was already a talented tennis player by age 16 in a car crash. There's a bunch of like football cards. Remember football cards as kids? Baseball cards and football cards. Top Deck and others. There's a bunch of football cards of this guy. He was like a rookie of the year, I think, in 1988 or something. Talented football player. But in 1994, his wife, Sybil Smith, for some reason she's named Smith instead of Stevens, I don't know, divorced him because he had multiple arrests, like they accused him of rape, and he pleaded guilty. I don't know, I think he's innocent. Super rookie, New England Patriots. Anybody remember him? He's innocent, but he's dead now. Died in a car crash. And he was starting to reconnect with her when she was like 13. Called her up, and the mother's, by that point, after, I think the mother remarried and had a stepfather for this girl, and the stepfather ended up dying, but the stepfather was involved in getting her into tennis in America, enjoying the greatness of America, and then turning around and crying racism. Of course you're going to catch hate. I mean, she's 28. She doesn't understand. She claims 2,000 messages of abuse, anger from people upset by the other day's result. So hard to read messages like these, but I'll post a few so you guys can see what it's like after a loss. I promise to find you and destroy your legs so hard you can't walk anymore, said one message according to CNN. CNN always takes up for women and blacks and victimhood because they are like the serpent. They tempt you into fake victimhood if you are one of those people, right? But anyway, it's so phony. What a mess. Misguided young people. Naomi Osaka, another lost woman. By the way, this woman she's engaged. Sloane Stephens is engaged to some black guy. Not the YouTuber, some black guy. Shout out to some black guy. Man, I haven't seen that guy in a while. He was on the Jesse Lee Peterson show one time. I'm talking about an actual YouTube channel called Some Black Guy. I don't even know if it still exists. But these people are so phony. Dan East says, I won't ever believe a single word that comes out of any famous black person's mouth. All these hateful hoaxes they've created just to get at whites. Disgraceful. Yeah, that's true. Not just Jussie Smollett, who was a child actor in the Mighty Ducks. I don't remember him, but that's what I read. And he played a gay guy. He is a so-called gay guy. In that TV show Empire, another black degenerate TV show propping up black homosexuality. And then the blacks turn around, oh, whites are the most gay. Not true. Sick. And not just Jussie Smollett, but remember that woman, that black woman? I used to bring her up all the time. Black woman actress apologizes after falsely accusing UCLA police racial profiling of her son. Taraji P. Henson apologizes to Glendale police. She also accused the UCLA, liberal University of California, Los Angeles school up here. Anybody who goes there, they come out liberal practically. Or at least the Asians that I knew who went there. Many of the Asians, not all maybe. They came out anti-white and pro-gay and all lame. But Taraji P. Henson is a very famous actress, quite old, and she lied against the cops, saying, oh, they racially profiled. She's 50 years old. A few years ago, she said, they racially profiled my son. And it turned out he had marijuana back when it was still illegal here in California. And they were so nice to him. There's like video footage that the police released. And she, I don't know if she apologized or took it back, but she didn't lose her career. Fake hate crime hoaxes all the time. Endless. A sick world. Free Ross finds Taraji P. Henson attractive. Barf. And it never ends. Who is that guy who's light-skinned and he's in NASCAR? Oh, there was a noose in the garage and the FBI sent agents. Bubba Wallace. Yeah. Phony. And Bubba Wallace was like, he's basically like a white guy. But because he's part black and he has that lost identity, he doesn't have love in his heart. He fell in for the Black Lives Matter thing and pure hate. And then he was used and willfully used to get rid of the love for America symbol, the beautiful rebel flag, the Southern flag from, man, I'm losing my voice. I'm talking too much. From NASCAR grounds. NASCAR banned it. Ridiculous. Shameful. Disgusting. Anyway, let me get to a call. I got to get to Teronzo, actually, in Oklahoma. He has another story for me. Teronzo, in Oklahoma. Hey. How are you doing?
Hey, doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing well, thank you.
Hey, don't let me forget, because I've got some, Lord Grimm's heart is in the right place, but I've got some substance to shut down Jeremiah for you. So after we talk about what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to explain some stuff that'll, biblically, that'll clear a lot of stuff up that shows that.
You know what? I might have to put that off to another day because I got so many calls and stuff, but I appreciate that. I will keep it in mind and ask you about it whenever we do have time for it.
All right,
I appreciate that. Deal.
It just came on the news. I saw it on Huffington Post that 15 teachers that were vaxxed in Florida dead.
Wow.
Yeah, this morning. So you might want to look into that. My friend told me about it.
Huffington Post of all places?
Yeah, it was actually on Huffington Post. So I'm just saying they're actually telling people that happened. So it's about to get bad.
Yeah, I'm seeing this on WLWT and Yahoo News. 15 Miami-Dade public public school staff members die of COVID in just 10 days.
Right.
A 30-year teaching veteran was one of 15 Miami-Dade County public school staff who died in just 10 days in Florida. It's a tremendous loss. And you're saying that they were vaccinated, huh?
Yes.
Interesting. Wow.
Yes. Look into it. They were vaxxed. But no, man, God hates a proud look. The Israelites are chosen. And the thing is the New Testament explains how the Gentiles were brought into the mix because the Israelites turned their back on God and started worshiping idols and other people.
Right.
So the Gentiles are in the mix now because of that. So they are the chosen, but the bottom line is Gentiles are within the mix of going to heaven as well. Also, God hates a proud look. So
Right.
all that attitude he has doesn't need to run. And there's another quick point here. Remember the story of Job in the Bible?
Yes.
Where God was kind of bragging on him, and Satan said, well, if you take away everything he's got, he won't feel the same about you. So he let Satan take away, got him sick, gave him, rashes and sores, and, and God was proving to him he's not going to turn his back on me. You see what I'm saying? So remember that story, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Job was Esau's grandson.
Oh, are you serious? How do you know that?
Look it up, bro. It tells you in scripture.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff there's a lot of stuff they're not telling you.
But honestly, man, who cares?
Well, I mean, yeah, no, for real. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's good to know. It's good to know what God prefers and stuff, though. And it's good to know scripture.
It's good to know that you should not be proud. What the heck?
Well, yeah, that's
Hateful or hate-filled.
The problem with it is that BHI movement, that Black Hebrew Israelite movement,
Yes.
It's too aggressive, and they keep saying, y'all are going to be our slaves in heaven. We're going to rape your women. We're going to basically do all these sins that got them in trouble in the first place, and none of that is true. We're going to be helpmates in heaven, but we're going to be doing it willingly because we're there for God, and the people we're going to be helping are not going to have an attitude like he's got.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I do. I appreciate it, Teronzo. Good.
All right, man.
Good, very good, man.
So
take care.
Yeah, so he needs to calm down. All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
All right. You too. Just a clarification or a lack of clarification, honestly. I can't see whether these teachers who died in Miami-Dade County were vaccinated or not vaccinated. They're using this story to go after Ron DeSantis, who has opposed forced vaccinations in schools and all that stuff. And he signed an executive order banning any mask mandate at schools. He hasn't issued any comment on the astounding death rate in the county school system. So they're not being honest, right? But we'll see. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. Whether these teachers were so-called vaccinated or not. But a whole lot of people are unhealthy, and it's serious for the unhealthy people. You got to be healthy, fit, everything else. Let me get to Blazing Hawgs, the Night Rider from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio. Blazing Hawgs, how are you doing?
All is well.
Nice.
How is Hake?
Doing well. It's great to hear from you, man. Long time.
Yeah. Billy or Nick or Chris, somebody needs to turn up that on hold volume. I can barely hear nothing.
Oh,
Every
okay.
time I call in.
Thank you for the heads up on that.
I'm always in the loud manufacturing shop.
Yeah.
And I got to have my earbuds in while I'm waiting.
Right.
But, and I can barely hear nothing.
I understand.
Lord Graham, well said. Hey, Jeremy, if you want to hear a man's voice, it's William, Lord Graham, Matthew American. I mean, listen to some of these men that
Right.
talk. They call in. They talk with great dialect, and it's back and forth, and it's not just them shoving down their opinion down your throat.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell when the men call in, and you can tell when these little boys call in.
True.
I mean, they're all up in it. And have you ever seen a pink pig?
A pink pig? I feel like I might have seen it like at the LA County Fair, maybe. For the most part,
That's
they're like
amazing.
white or brown or black.
All me born days living on a farm, and thank God I'm a country boy.
Yeah.
I don't have that mess like Jeremy. But they're white, they're black, they're red. I've never seen a pink pig.
Nice.
Now, a white one can get sunburnt and be pink and be roasted. I've seen that.
Right.
We all pink on the inside.
Yeah.
But it just blows my mind that you know, it reassures me. Thank God I'm a country boy. When I hear Jeremy sit here talking about a bunch of stuff that nobody gives two rips about at all.
That's funny you call him Jeremy.
Or Jeremiah,
Right.
whatever. Jeremiah's a boy. He
Yeah.
needs to get a shovel and learn some discernment and get some blisters on his hands. He don't know nothing. All
Yeah.
he's living in is in his head. But yeah, he calls you pink. I ain't never seen a pink pig. I had to call. I'm like, where are we getting pink pigs from?
That's because
this is just,
he's been watching cartoons.
I know.
In the
but
cartoons, the pigs are pink. And
Even the most-
Babe, is that movie called Babe, the pig?
Yeah, he's a white pig. That's a Yorkshire.
He's kind of pinkish, a little bit pink.
That's a purebred Yorkshire,
Nice.
and they're white.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I want to say that. And Ronnie, my brother Ronnie, Ballman 54, called in to Jesse today, starting his own business. Kudos to him.
Yeah.
Blessings to him. Congratulations to him. And I like how the call he had with Jesse. He's come a long way. He's come a long way with Jesse. He's been hung up on before, and I've been here, like 6 years plus. But
Yeah.
I see him come. I see him go. I see him on Jesse's side, then I see him hating Jesse.
Right.
They just ain't getting it.
Yeah.
Jupiter, you need to give a call in and give him your opinion. That's what you need to do. She's in chat.
Okay. Jupiter is a woman, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. I've read Jupiter's comments, and that's all caps, Jupiter, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I've known Jupiter a while. She's
Cool.
coming and going sometimes.
Right
Still
on.
love her.
Well, I appreciate it, Blazing Hawgs. It's great to hear from you.
Ask Maze when she gets on the phone. Remember, she said back in the day she showed pigs at the fair. Ask her if she probably said pink pig too.
All right. I will do
All
that.
right.
Take care.
Later.
All right. Bye. Before I will get to Maze, who's my favorite caller. She's up next. Hang tight, callers. You can call in. There is one line open. But first, speaking of this vaccine and virus and the hype and stuff, and there is hype. There is actual death and suffering from the virus, and there's major hype too. And alarmism. Yeah, Charlotte's Web had the pink pig, supposedly. Hake, I'm catching up to you, bro. 39 today. Hey, happy birthday, Stinger GT2. Happy birthday, man. 39. Nice age. Black pigs are oppressed. Okay, so ivermectin. That's that drug, that horse dewormer that a lot of people are saying, don't take that horse dewormer. But it's actually also a human dewormer, too, if you get the human version, right? It's against roundworm and river blindness, whatever that is. I don't know anything about it, but Joe Rogan took that among a bunch of other things, and he healed up, but he's also fit and healthy, and I think he's not vaccinated. There is some conjecture that people who get the vaccine are more likely to get it. I don't know if that's true, but that's what some people are claiming. I'm not going to dismiss it, nor am I going to endorse it, because I don't know. But I've seen like many people who are like banned for misinformation saying it. So is that misinformation? I don't know. The post-millennial news editor, Mia Cathell, tweeted, the Associated Press has issued an embarrassing correction to its fear-mongering article, it's what her words for it, after claiming that 70% of recent calls to Mississippi poison control were about ivermectin ingestion. The actual total number was 2%. Wow, that's a big difference. So that's AP, Associated Press. They're supposed to be so objective. Not. And I think what happened was, the confusion was, oh, we've been getting like 2% of our calls are this way, and 70% of those calls are from the animal, taking the animal stuff. So it's like 1.7% of calls were from taking animal horse dewormer, ivermectin. What a mess. On Monday, yesterday, if you watched my Labor Day show, I told you about the fake news that my viewer, Uncle Ted, said was from an Oklahoma doctor who lied and said, oh, we got gunshot victims who are held out of emergency care because people are overdosing on this ivermectin, horse dewormer stuff. And the mainstream media jumped all over it. All over it. Phonies. Fake news. But don't take the horse version if you're going to take this stuff. Talk to somebody who's knowledgeable about this stuff. Maybe a doctor, maybe somebody who's like, if you're quite familiar with the natural health stuff and you know your body, maybe you can talk to them and see if they recommend the human version. But anyway, they derided it as horse dewormer, even though it's been used for treating humans since the 80s, says the bad boy. True. Very true. So don't fall for the mess, including from establishment, mainstream media, fact checker sources that, you know, they don't look out for you. They are looking to shut people down for telling the truth. It's pretty sick. By the way, I saw Get a Job was trending on Twitter today. Just a brief little note. Isn't this cute? Get a job. Some are criticizing Senator Ted Cruz, the rhino, although I like him for being somewhat conservative, for telling unemployed Americans to get a job in response to reports that millions lost COVID-19 unemployment relief benefits on Monday. Yeah, yesterday, millions of Americans are losing some of their unemployment help from the government, which has been subsidizing people not working. In some sense, it is our money, and they did not have the right to shut down our businesses. But there are jobs available. For many, they need that message. So don't be all feeling sorry for the people. But anyway, shout out to Get a Job. Did you know that he made a Hake Savage Moments? Support him on Patreon. I do. And check it out. And he's done like 70-something. Jesse Lee Peterson's Savage Moments. Get a Job. And also get his swag. teespring.com/stores/get a job. All one word. For the t-shirts, mugs, stickers, all that stuff. But anyway, let me get to Maze in Dayton, Ohio. My favorite caller. How are you doing, Maze?
Just fine, James.
Nice. Have you ever seen a pink pig, or are they white?
They have a white pig, a black pig, and a pink pig, and then they got a spotted one.
Okay. You're sounding kind of far away today. Are you on a speakerphone or something?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
So did you hear what I had to say?
Yeah, I heard you say they have a white pig and a pink pig and a brown and black, red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in his sight.
I didn't say nothing about red.
Well, do you dispute that there are red pigs too?
I haven't seen a red pig.
I feel like Blazing Hogs mentioned red.
There's a difference between, excuse me?
Blazing Hogs mentioned
hog
red.
and a pig is two different things.
No, I'm talking about the caller, Blazing Hogs. He said that he's seen a red pig.
He said he's seen a red pig. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway.
You ever seen pigs fly?
No, I haven't. I don't believe in things that I see on TV. That's not reality.
Nice. So you don't support Black Lives Matter then?
Excuse me?
You don't support Black Lives Matter because you've seen that mess on TV that's not reality.
If I did or if I didn't, do that means what I called for you was about you talking about something else.
Okay.
Other people have to always agree with what Caucasians got to say, or could they have their own opinion?
It's not good to have opinions.
Well, that's all I hear every day because there are no facts.
Oh, no, there's facts.
I just gave you the facts to the pigs.
Nice. I
And the
appreciate
hog.
it.
So
That's why you're my favorite caller.
So some people everybody should have their opinion. If you sit up with your opinion and somebody don't agree with what you're saying and know that you don't know what you're talking about, should they correct you or just let you go on and have other people believe in it too?
They should believe the truth.
Thank you. So if the truth's not in you, you get mad and get in your feelings and complain about what somebody else had to say. Is their opinion just like you have an opinion? And
I know,
think
but
everybody has one.
What you're saying is technically true, but you are so evil about it because, like, you seem to get prompted to call in anytime you hear a white make a passing mention that is not completely complimentary to blacks. And you're like, you need to check out your own self.
No, James, what I asked you, I can't ask Jesse what I want to ask you because Jesse is not a Caucasian. You are. So that's why I asked you questions.
I didn't even mention Jesse.
That's what I'm saying. You said what I call in and do. I can't ask Jesse that question. So who else am I can talk to? You laugh, and I can ask you as a human person to get the answers that I want. So should I keep asking and listening to Jesse?
I didn't even mention Jesse. Why are you bringing up Jesse?
I'm using him as an example.
Oh.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm talking about, for example, yesterday I had Mark from Santa Monica. He made a passing mention of, blacks have the NAACP, whites don't have anybody except the unions fighting for them, which is not true. But you said, why did that caller have to mention blacks? He needs to worry about his own self.
Yes, he does.
I know, but you need to worry about your own self. Why are you always worrying about what whites are worrying about blacks?
Just giving your opinion of what I think of. You see, I've been around Caucasians. I'm not afraid of them.
I wasn't expecting you to be.
The way you all think black people are. I'm like being around a whole lot of different people because that's what God put on this earth.
But hold on, Maze.
You go
What's
to
the difference? What's the difference between you talking about him when you need to worry about your own self?
Well, I'm not. I mingle amongst people. I don't sit back and look at one group of people as being the worst thing that's on this planet.
Yeah, you do. You think Bible go-to guys spit on blacks.
Excuse me?
You think Bible go-to guy spits on blacks to this day, metaphorically.
His mouth is still spit on blacks. That's all he knows. That's why he grew up foolish.
And you mean that metaphorically, right? Not physically spitting on them, but metaphorically by his...
I mean, he's probably spit on people, and he still spits when they come out of his mouth. He wants women to be slaves. Now, how stupid does that sound?
What's wrong with that?
I don't want nobody to be no slave. Shouldn't.
A wife... Is a wife not supposed to be... Isn't the husband supposed to be the master of the wife?
No. He's supposed to be his helpmate, not his slave.
God's law says...
He has a brain that God gave him.
Helper means he's her master.
That's why he put both of them on this earth. Not for one to act like she's a slave and can't use her brain because he gave her one just like he gave him.
So that justifies you speculating that he spits on people?
No, it justifies some of the things that he has to say about black people. Just like when Jarvis used to be on this show, he said, what happened to Jarvis? He used to be like us. Everybody don't have to agree with what y'all think in order to have a mind. That's what's wrong with you. You got somebody else think for you.
What a mess.
Think for yourself, and you can see. You don't have to hate people in order to think for yourself.
What do you have? What do you have against white people? That's your favorite subject.
I don't have nothing against white people. I have white people in my family, so I don't have anything against them.
That doesn't mean you don't. White people have white people in their family, and they have problems with those people.
I can have an opinion on what they do, just like you can have an opinion on what I do. But everything that
that's like saying I have a black friend. I'm not racist.
You don't have any friends. There's the only thing you know is Jesse and what's his name, the one that left, Joel. Now you tell me some people that you've been around that you had fun with and did things with, and y'all didn't have to call them and worry about some N letter, because I don't know where you get this rhetoric from, an N word, because an N is not a word, it's a letter.
Oh, because
some people happy about saying it because they get a thrill out of it.
Because it's a taboo. And when you say something that's taboo, it's kind of fun.
Oh,
it's like, ooh, N-word.
It was just how you would talk. Because some people respect and not have to use the word, or you won't have anything to do with it. And they don't look like me. It's just out of respect. So those that don't have respect for people, they want to have it and just enjoy it like their grandfathers do.
Ledge Klinger says nobody cares what you think.
Little did they know they can be one themselves.
You hear that? That's our cue.
Yes, it's how cute.
Your
But they
anniversary clock.
They want to be so happy to call somebody one, but you don't go around calling everybody else first like that. But you want to just call.
Nobody even goes around calling people the N-word that much.
What?
Anyway, I gotta go. May it's nice talking with you. You have a good day.
Have a good.
You too. Joe in Phoenix, Arizona wanted to talk about ivermectin. I do hope that he does call back another day. I look forward to hearing his input about it because he looks into stuff sometimes, right? And the rest of the callers, I cannot get to you. This has been the Hake Report, thehakereport.com. Thanks, guys, and take care.